surgery room, Mutti, singer of the Addicts. Your roots go way back into the 70s, and I think the younger generation these days really wonders how you did start this band and how things came together. Can you tell us something about the early days of the Addicts?
The real genesis was Pete and Kid being brothers, growing up together, just getting into music. Their father was a singer, so they'd been around kind of showbiz for a while. So they were already playing guitar and drums before I met those guys. And it just happened that punk rock came along. We had a common interest. We met just in a pub, and hey, let's be in a band. It's just that classic kind of punk ideal of anyone could be in a band. You didn't really have to be a musician. I'm not a musician. I'm not really a good singer, but punk rock allowed a lot of people to get in bands and express themselves. So that was really what kind of got us going.
Which were the first songs you kind of blasted out and you really thought that could define the band and gets you going?
I'm not sure. It took a while for us to develop an identity. I mean, we played cover songs, we played Sex Pistols and Clash and the Vibrators and stuff like that, just to learn how to play and learn how to be a band, and then just started writing our own songs. I guess I don't know. It was the Songs of Praise album where it all kind of gelled together, and we thought that we maybe knew how to write some songs now, of our own.
When was it that you choose the image of the Droogs in the famous movie Clockwork Orange, and how did you catch the idea that might be a good image for your band and now carries on like the big part of your identity of the band?
We started that around about 1981 or 2 or something like that, so it wasn't really something from the beginning. It was just we were, we've always been creative and imaginative. We just wanted to look different than all the other bands that were maybe sounding similar, but just to make ourselves more interesting and more entertaining. It's about a show, really.
The Clockwork Orange story and stuff like that has a very violent undertone. So did you feel like there should be a violent undertone with the band as well, or is that more?
Do I look violent to you? No, I mean, yeah, I mean it's great movie, and there are elements in there that are obviously disturbing, but it wasn't that we took. It was just that again, it's a bit punk rock, pre-punk rock, but teenage rebellion. Against this, against society, against the government, and it was really the look was what we stole more than the ethos or the attitude. It's a cool look, and it's white. Everyone else is wearing black. So it's kind of a no-brainer, really.
In the meanwhile, your face, the monkey face, became an icon for lots of football supporters around, especially around Europe.
Mm-hmm.
The so-called ultra scene, and it's like seems to be a lot in the Mediterranean countries. And what do you know about it? Do people contact you about it? You must be very famous around the football stadiums in Europe.
Apparently, I don't really too much about it. I don't know if those guys are just Adicts fans, or they just like the face or something, or I don't know really what the connection with the band is with those guys, but it's cool to see that. I mean, because we're big football fans too, so it's.
The Addicts came to Germany in the early 80s, and the Toten did the support for the Addicts on that trip. Are there any memories of that? And it's like, how long was that tour? Was that your first tour to Germany then?
I don't have an answer to any of those questions, I don't think. I remember. I only remember vaguely was the first show. I think we got there late, there was some fights, and we played the whole show with all the house lights on, as far as I remember. But I don't know. I mean, they were good guys then. They're good guys now. I mean, it's fantastic to see how far they've come and what they've created. It's wonderful.
How is your standing in the US? How does that compare, or is any different to what you're doing in Europe these days?
I think probably in the west coast of America, that's probably the hottest spot for us. We can, easily sell out every show that we do, and not huge venues, but 2,000 people, maybe something like that kind of capacity. It's pretty easy for us to sell out venues like that. But we do that maybe once or twice a year. We don't continuously tour. We just pick a couple of weeks here and a couple of weeks there, and Europe, and we were just in South America too, which was the first time for us to explore that kind of territory. So we're always open to go anywhere and meet new people and have some fun.
The Addicts are known as the longest running punk band in the original lineup, but apparently the lineup did change lately a little bit.
Well, it's changed often over the years. I mean, the consistency has been myself, Pete, and Kid. We have played a show without Pete, and we played a show without Kid. I'm the only one that's done every show. So, and we've had, a few. We've had 10 bass players over the years. Mel has always been number one, but for various reasons, family or work, hasn't been available, or was for a while just not interested. So he kind of comes and goes. We filled other people in. We've had a couple of 2, 3 keyboard players.
But your other guitar player, Scruffy, seems to be part of the family too, and he's with you for a long time. People are always wondering if he is a family member to any of you guys.
No, he's Mel's brother.
Oh, okay.
So we've known him since he was a little kid. He used to come to practices and all that. So he's been around forever. But he's, he went off and did his own band thing. He has done some good stuff on his own, some solo stuff, and then when we got back together in, 2000 or something like that, we thought maybe it would enhance the sound if we had a second guitarist. So he's been with us ever since. Yeah.